Hello, I'm Pastor Joe, and welcome to Impacts. Impacts is a video teaching series where I try to help you in your faith in, your commitment to, and your relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this series that we're doing right now is called Understanding the Bible, and its aim is to help you know the Bible more so that when you're reading or studying it, that you have a better understanding of what is going on. Now, our focus really is on the divisions and subdivisions of the Bible. Now, today we're going to be focusing in on the minor prophets. So come on, let's get started. You know, I remember when I was in confirmation class, we learned some basic information about the Bible. We learned things such as there's two divisions. You have the Old Testament and the New Testament. We learned that it was written by many people. We even had to memorize all 66 books of the Bible. And that has certainly been helpful, all of that. But we can further divide the Bible up. And by doing so, we gain a better understanding. And when we gain a better understanding of the Bible, it helps in our reading and in our studying. Now, the Old Testament, as we have talked about over the last several weeks, is basically divided into four sections. You have the historical books. That's the first 17 books of the Bible. And those 17 books cover the entire history that the Old Testament deals with. And so the rest of the books fit somewhere in that. So we have the historical books. The next 5 books are the wisdom and poetry writings. And then we have the major prophets. That's the next 5 books. The last section is the minor prophets. Now I want to remind you a little bit about what a prophet is. In the Old Testament, prophets tended to show up during times of crisis. And when these people would show up, God would use them in several ways. He would use these people to provide divine guidance and wisdom to His people. He would also use them to remind God's people of their promises, the covenant relationship that they had. But another use of prophets is that through the prophets, God revealed Himself more and more. So as we read and study the prophets, as we listen to the prophet's message, we learn more and more about the nature of God, His love for us as His people, and His desire for us. Now, the minor prophets are made up of 12 different books, 12 different prophets. And these are Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi. The minor prophets are the last 12 books of the Bible. Now, don't think that they're minor and therefore they're less important than the major prophets. Being a major or minor prophet has nothing to do with importance. It has everything to do with the length of the writings. All 12 books of the minor prophets could be contained on one scroll, whereas the major prophets, they were all larger than that. Also, if you take the 5 books of the major prophets, if you added all the chapters together, there were 166 chapters that make up the major prophets. If you took all 12 books of the minor prophets and you add their chapters together, there are only 67 chapters. So you can see that the 5 major prophets are a lot larger than the 12 minor prophets put together. Now, when you read the minor prophets, what you're going to find is they address both the kings and the people. They acted really as socio-spiritual commentators of the time, kind of reading what was going on and helping everyone understand their role and the relationship between humanity and God. But beyond that, these minor prophets also give us some examples of faithful people during difficult times. How do people respond to life in the world around them and maintain their faithfulness? It's an important thing. We all need to know that. And then we see that they give us a deeper vision, a deeper understanding of God's judgment and mercy on His people. Again, that's a very important thing. Well, look, my challenge to you really is the same as it was last week. I encourage you to turn to the Minor Prophets, the last 12 books of the Bible, flip through, get an understanding of the order and what was going on and the stories that they contain. And that will help you as you're reading to kind of fit everything together. Well, look, I hope that you'll join me next week. Next week, we're going to begin looking at the New Testament and how the New Testament can be divided up in an effort to understand it better. Before you leave, please take the time to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any of the new videos that come out. I hope you'll also like this video, hit like, and that you will share it with your friends, your families, your neighbors, so that they too can learn and go deeper in their journey of faith with God. Well, look, until we get together next week, my prayer is that God's blessings will be with you.